Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew Built Conicals. You can trust Brew Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew Built at morebeer.com.
Welcome to the session. I'm your host, Justin Crosley. Thanks for hanging out with us today and whatever it is you're doing, either watching on YouTube, our youtube.com/brewing network channel, or maybe you're driving in your car, doing your podcast thing. I don't know, but welcome to the session, and welcome to my lovely co-host today, Mr. Sean O'Sullivan.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, Sully's here. Hanging out with us.
I don't think you've ever said the word lovely before.
I have, but usually not toward you, but I don't know why. It seems fitting, right? You're a lovely human.
I appreciate you saying that, and you should continue to do that, because
we'll do that.
I think it's the new kinder, gentler Justin.
I think you're right about that.
I think COVID's done you a good thing.
It probably has, yeah. Both having it and experiencing it and living through it.
Yeah, I mean, you told me you had COVID and you hung out in your camper and drank beer, and that's how you got through it.
That's how I got through it.
And it's turned you a lovely human.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, I don't know why that's not on the list of cures, because it should be.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, it probably is in some website we don't know about.
Right. Yeah. Well, and Sully's here co-hosting with me, not only because he's a great co-host that I like to have on often, but because he, like myself, is a good friend of our old friend, Christian Kazakov.
Hello.
Who's our guest. Hey, Christian.
Great to be here again.
It's wonderful to have you. And Christian's here with his, is it lead brewer?
Lead brewer.
There we go. Lead brewer Madison.
There you go.
Thanks for making it, Madison.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And now Madison also, I found out talking to him before the show, works for our fine friends at More Beer sometimes too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He does some days with More Beer, who of course has been the sponsor of this show and every show that we have done here on the session since 2005. They're still our sponsor today. And if you want to go support them, go check them out at morebeer.com. You can also check out their YouTube page. I suggest going and checking out Free Beer Friday, where Chris Graham likes to go on and give away stuff every single Friday.
He just gets loaded and gives away stuff?
Pretty much, like he does when he comes on the show.
Yeah.
He really likes to do
that.
that.
Fermenter here, whatever, 2001. We'll just give it away today.
He's great. It's always been the joke that by the middle of the show, Chris Graham's just, whatever I ask for, he says, yep, let's give it away. So it's really been a great partnership, I think.
I think it works great.
Over the years. So
Free
go check
Beer
them
Friday.
out at morebeer.com. And you can check out the brewery that we're speaking with today. Christian's brewery is Canyon Club Brewery, and it's canyonclub.works, I think,
Yeah.
right? I have a different...
Yeah, it's not a dot. It's not .com, not .gov.
It's .works. So you guys work.
We work.
You've always...
It works.
I also, Kristen, I've always thought of you as, you're like a working brewer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're always in the brewery and in the trenches since I've known you. You didn't do one of those transition things that other brewers do where eventually...
Oh, I've tried.
It just never worked out for you yet.
I
see.
Where you own a brewery,
right?
And you go into debt.
Right.
Yeah, that's fun.
That sounds fun. Christian's always been like, I don't know. I think I'm happy in the boots, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know? I mean, you've been brewing for a long time.
Yeah, 26 years now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Triple Rock wasn't your first brewing gig, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe you and Sully were somewhere before that even.
No, I was working at Triple Rock as an assistant brewer, and Christian, I think, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but Christian, you wanted to brew, and you got pulled into the dark side.
Pretty much.
Did you really just fall in love with it right away?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I was in.
Okay,
I got
that's
the
fair.
job there because I needed something to transition from the job that I had in Half Moon Bay to a job in Berkeley, because I just moved to Berkeley, but yet I was still working in Half Moon Bay.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
no
but you
good.
had
That's
you
no
had a
good.
culinary background.
I
mean, You
did.
had a Navy
So I went
background.
the cooking route.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're an incredible cook.
Yeah, I like
And
to
an
think
incredible
so.
brewer.
And you're still like a foodie. Cooking is still a passion of yours.
Yeah, that's still probably my main focus when it comes to even making beers. I think about how it'll pair well with food.
So would you say it's accidental that you ended up a brewer and not a chef your whole career, or did you eventually just decide brewing was for you?
I decided brewing was for me after actually it was a trip that Sean and I took to the Oregon Brewers Festival.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like 97 or 98 or
At
something
least.
like that. And or 96, and
Right.
that was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was also, I mean, that trip, I mean, especially at that time up at that festival, and just Cripple Rock in general. I mean, it's been like, it's a great, like, you know, it's a growing bed for like young brewers. I mean, so many brewers have gone on there to do like their own thing and, you know, and brew at other places. I mean, it was phenomenal.
I always thought it would be cool to have on the door to the brewery, like on the top of it says something like "Through these portals have passed."
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. You got to have like a placard with the. I always like to give props to John Martin whenever I can, because he's just such a nice human in the beer world. So John Martin, I guess he's probably co-owner of Triple Rock, maybe full by now, but also of Drake's.
Yep.
He has Drake's, and he's just, to me, I've said this before on the air. I consider him like a mentor in the sense that I always watch what John Martin is doing. I think he's a smart person.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's taken care of, he's like been a good steward of breweries that he's been a part of.
Yeah, I remember watching like it was one of those videos of our films about like craft brewing, and like his like there was a line like, "Well, what's your exit strategy?" And he said, "A pine box." Like he's in it. He's in it to the end.
He's in it to the end. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to retire. He's like, yeah. That's amazing. And he's also, to me, he's a just kind of a humble, unsung hero.
Yeah.
You know, you and I are out there gallivanting our greatness, Sully.
We wear you know, fashion. We wear like gowns, and we show up with like, you know, yeah, exactly. But he's just like,
John's just like, I like beer too.
yeah, I'm doing it, and I opened up another place.
Have you guys been to the barn?
Yes.
I only just went for the first time this summer. Mm-hmm. Wow, what a cool playground for adults.
Yeah.
I guess kids are allowed there too. But
They're killing
Beautiful
that
space.
spot's killing it.
and see, when he did that at first, and I read about it and the size of it, on one hand, I'm like,
Scratch your head.
this sounds like an amazing project. And on the other hand, I'm going, there's no way. There's just no way. It's too much. He's too ambitious. But you know what? John Martin pulls it off. Mm-hmm. That place is amazing. Yeah, I like it.
Big, good looking space.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
right,
the building
yeah.
is beautiful. Yeah.
right on the
Yeah,
river.
They did a really
and-
cool job with the building.
Anyway, just a shout out since we're doing some Triple Rock here.
Yeah.
You got it, man. Actually, my first memory of Christian at Triple Rock, he was not even brewing yet. He was working in the kitchen, right? You were working in the kitchen right there before you started brewing for like a year or whatever it was.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Is that you were trying to bring customers in, so you went and you took a hotel pan, a sheet, you know, a baking sheet, and you put olive oil on it and garlic, and you heated it up, and you walked around the entire restaurant.
I scented the restaurant with like roasted garlic.
Yeah, and it smelled
Brilliant.
amazing because you walk in and you smell it like, I need to eat now.
I got to try this here.
Yeah.
Just walk around outside and get some people to come in those doors.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I even have the visual locked in my head. It was a great moment.
Did you go to culinary school?
I went to City College. They had
Okay.
they had a hospitality program there.
Okay.
But I got all my culinary or food knowledge from just being in the trenches.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have an interesting background. You were in the Navy,
All right.
and you were on a ship, and you were cooking for.
6,000 people.
Wow.
But you were kind of in the upper echelon
And
of
then
the whole thing.
Then I did the wardroom for the last couple of years, which was
What is that?
all the officers.
Yeah.
So it was maybe 300 people instead of the 6,000.
And higher end food then too, or
They paid for it, so
I see, yeah.
you know, it was part of their. You know, they had to pay for the food. It was part of their, you know, monthly dues or whatever.
Like
Okay.
50
But
cents for
pretty
like a
much.
lobster.
So basically,
Yeah.
the steaks were just a little bit better than what we'd get for the
And
regular.
this was on an aircraft carrier?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How long did you do that? Were you on that
4
carrier?
years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did a full tour.
Did the Persian Gulf one, and
Oh, right.
was down there for Somalia for that whole business. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
But you I mean, obviously, but you weren't a lifer. It wasn't something you wanted to do.
I was seriously considering it. Yeah.
Because you'd be retired right now.
Probably. Yeah.
I don't want to rub that in or anything.
Trust me, that has passed through my mind.
Right. Oh, man. But so you didn't hate it if you thought about it. Yeah. Okay. No. It just, you decided you want to try something else.
It was a girl.
Did you ever? It's always a girl.
It was a girl.
It's always a girl.
Yeah.
Did you homebrew on the boat at all? On the ship or whatever you call it?
Maybe a little bit.
You could talk about
It was
now.
like, just like in
man, you're
prison,
still
you
worried.
make pruno.
Pruno.
It was very similar. It was ghastly.
Gosh, that's funny.
I like to think that you actually had a mash tun, a kettle, and you got hops from like traveling. And just make it up, please.
You just were fermenting juice or something.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. But you did go to brewing school.
I did. I went to the American Brewers Guild.
Okay.
Yeah, I did like a 7-week intensive brewing science and engineering course with them.
Okay.
And that was in class, so I had to live in. I lived in Sacramento for about a month and a half while I did that.
And that was while you were.
Woodland.
And that's while you were working at Triple Rock.
That was while I was working at Triple Rock. Yeah.
So was Sully still?
No, this was. Yeah. I was still the assistant when I did that. It was Scott Meyer was the head brewer then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Got it. And they're like, yeah, go off to brewing school, come back, and then And
actually,
then
when I got back, they had me brewing at a 20 tank for a while.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's where I got confused. That I thought you guys brewed there before Triple Rock or something. But
I kind
it's all
of
during the
same
process.
thing. I was at Triple Rock, and then they sent me over to 20 Tank for a little bit because the brewers were leaving in quotes. And I had, that's wild.
Yeah,
I didn't know you did that.
With Scott. I brewed with Scott for a while.
So 20 Tank, for the listeners that don't know that, was on 11th Street in San Francisco, right across from
DNA Lounge and
also Slim's.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
right.
it was owned by John Martin, and then it closed, I think, in 2001. And that was like the height of like the first wave of the .com boom.
Okay.
And their rent went way up, and they couldn't and so like a .com went in there and closed soon after that, and then became a club, I guess.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. And then Triple Rock for like 10 years or something.
12, but 10 for brewing.
10 for brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's so to me, and I think you'd agree with this. I guess you probably all would. Without owning the brewery, that's a rare amount of time for a brewer.
I got
and
settled
that's what
in.
I mean. You're like, well, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you just found your groove and you stay.
Yeah.
Because you did the same. You went from there to Iron Springs.
Yes.
And you were there for 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So you find your groove, and there you go.
I think that's kind of the way it was, or maybe it still is in some ways. I mean, it wasn't as long as Christian. I was there for 2.5 years as an assistant brewer at Triple Rock. And I mean, now I think there's an urgency to sort of jump ahead because you want to get ahead, you want to do your own thing, so that's sort of the impetus to keep moving forward. But back in the day, I felt like we were kind of like hunkered down trying to like figure it out.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
If it's working, why not?
Yeah, you also gain a lot of wisdom and experience and all that too. So there's a benefit to it.
You know, Sully's brewing in the San Francisco
heard,
brewery.
yeah.
You hear this rumor? I think
heard
it's
this.
true. Even
It is. We haven't been that busy, and we don't need a full-time brewer there right now. And so I'm there. I love it, man.
You do?
Yeah. I was there like cleaning. I'm going to move a West Coast IPA tomorrow. I was cleaning a tank today. Then I had to something happened, and I had to go down to San Leandro right afterward, like in the middle of the day. So I just left.
Yeah.
And went down there and dealt what I had to do with. So, and then, but I love it. I mean, it's great.
See, I think that when you go there and experience that and you love it is one of the reasons that Christian is just finds his groove, because with all the other complications in even the rest of your job, let's forget about the rest of the world even.
Yeah.
When you go there it's like golf, all you care about is this one little thing. And so when you're brew day, the rest of the noise goes away, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like why I got in the industry. I mean, I went from having a brewing job that was very physical. Before that, I was in an office in LA, got into brewing, and then opened up the 2-1A, and then had another office, created my own hell again, actually.
Right.
And there's just, it's very different, but I love brewing. I mean, I just dig it.
Did you cancel your gym membership when you started brewing again?
Did I tell you that in a text or something?
Just assuming why pay for a gym when you're there?
It's like, I mean, I love it. It's like, I've already like walked like 5.5 miles today.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you were transferring today or getting ready to transfer today.
Yeah, and then I was going to do the transfer, and then something happened in San Leandro, so I had to so I'm like back and forth, kind of this triangle thing. So.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about this beer in our glass.
Don't talk about me. Let's talk about the beer.
We're talking about all of it. So I started with the black lager.
Okay.
You don't call it a Schwartz beer?
No, I call it a black beer.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It's a black beer. I don't. Yeah. There's
What's the difference? What is a Schwartz beer, like a different recipe type thing?
a lot of roasted barley, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
No, I thought Schwartz beer was like you're supposed to get like figgy sweet. It's not. You're not supposed to get the roast up front.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I've had both. To be honest with you, you might be right. If we read the guideline right now,
like
you
think Kostritzer, it's like raisins.
You're right. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, I think black lager or Schwarz beers.
Yeah,
those are what Schwartz beers are supposed. They're smoky.
Well, they're not. They're not so much smoky, but they're like they're just very thin on body and light on roast. This is like an American black lager.
Yes.
This is great. This is delicious. It's like super roasty. It's gritty, but it's got a lot of like malt complexity to it, and it's very flavorful.
A little grainy as it should be. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the recipe. What do you know about it?
Pilsner malt, carafa, and
With black malt,
and Cara Munich.
Okay,
That's it.
Do you just like sprinkle the black malt on top? Are you those brewers, or do you mix it all?
I blend it all in. When I mill it. Yeah.
What percent of black malt is in there? It can't be much, right?
No, it was like
just
less,
make it up.
Maybe 10%. Yeah.
Well, I think that's even a lot, but
I want the color, man.
yeah, you got it too.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. Is this a popular beer for you at the brewery?
It goes well.
Yeah.
It goes. It's also nice is that it has a little bit of staying power. I mean, it's not like it moves like the IPAs, but so it's good to have that offering on tap.
it's light enough. You can have two of them though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's only 4.2%.
4.2. Oh wow, that's a lot of flavor for 4.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did well. You a liquid yeast guy or dry yeast guy now?
I've been using both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I see you old school guys are y'all coming around to that dry yeast all the time.
It's easy.
I know, that's what everybody tells me. It's so easy.
Well, Christian, it's gotten a lot better since we first started. I mean,
we're not using
Fleischmann's.
we're not using Nottingham.
exactly.
Dried Nottingham.
Oh, you can get it.
Yeah.
There's some good dry yeast out there.
I did a homebrew with Chris Graham, and my listeners already know this story.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
we were doing. We wanted to do Tasty's Dortmunder recipe, and I used to love that beer that Tasty would make, and he won some medals with it. And we did it just like Tasty does. So we used liquid yeast, used White Labs, but Chris Graham and all of his homebrewing had like completely switched over to dry yeast, right? So he forgot that we have to aerate liquid yeast, and I was like, "What do you mean? You don't even have to like put oxygen into the dry yeast?"
No,
he's like,
you don't.
"No." You just throw it in and it's ready to go. So we fucked up the beer. We got acetaldehyde out of it. So we
really?
just like
what was the yeast?
Probably Oh no, it would have been it was a White Labs German something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I don't think they have a Dortmunder style, but maybe they do.
So you didn't aerate it.
So we did not oxygenate at all.
Oh.
And of course, fermentation, like it happened, but we had that like apple, green apple flavor. And in tasting with some other pro brewers, they were like, "Yeah, it's definitely like there's something with the yeast happens."
Sluggish fermentation.
And that's when he remembers. He's like, "Yeah, I kind of forgot to bring home the O2 bottle that day because I never do it anymore." But anyhow. I didn't realize that dry yeast was even that easy. I thought it was so easy because you don't really have to do like a starter batch and all that anymore. I didn't realize it's easy because it's completely hands off. You just throw it in.
Yeah, and it's a consistent pitch. I mean, like your pitching rates aren't changing,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So this is dry yeast in your
Yes,
Schwartz too?
that's dry yeast.
So it's the same with lagers. Like it'll just do its thing. It doesn't
But
matter.
I do repitch. Like when I do start it, I will repitch and use that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've used it actually. I'm a big fan of 3470 right now. The Weihenstephan. Yeah. I mean, I'm like nuts about it because we do cold IPA and blah blah blah. But but one time I didn't aerate and it didn't go well. And
even from the packet.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm doing 34.7 in the Fermentus Saf Lager, and I don't know what happened, but I mean, I'm also fermenting hot at 64 degrees. So
Okay. But you're not going to hurt it to aerate,
No,
are you? Right?
no.
Like, so you're just kind of doing it because why not?
Because I'm older and I've done that all my life, and I feel like I have to do that.
Yeah. Do you not aerate?
No, I aerate.
You do.
Yeah.
So that's what I figured too. That pro brewers are still going through all of those
Yeah.
steps. But for a home brewer, it did seem like because it's just a little pain in the ass, a little tank. It's extra equipment, and so to not have to do that, I thought was
Well,
pretty
it's
cool.
also like hydrating it too. I mean, you're supposed to hydrate this stuff. So
No,
I
I
think
don't do that. I haven't done that
but
forever.
you haven't done that. So I do a thing where I I'm going into like our 12 barrel fermenter at the pub, and I'll put the dry yeast in, and then I'll sanitize like a whisk, and I'll kind of mix it in as it's going, which I would never do in the past. Like
Right.
open the door and stir it up. But I also think that aerating it actually causes it to mix up
That makes
as you're
sense.
going in. So anyway, I've had success.
That's
with
how
it.
we pitch it as we're knocking out. We just go right on top of it as it's coming
Yeah.
in. Aerators on. It's getting a good mix all the way through as it knocks out.
Got it.
And then if I'm doing like 2 turns, then we don't aerate on the second turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Now-
is funny because I would, like literally when we first started, Christian, if we were talking about like dry yeast, we would have been like,
Yeah.
not doing that.
no.
Yeah, absolutely not. It is crazy how far it's come.
Yeah.
Especially because there's not, I don't know, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of innovation on the ingredient side. So for that to be so innovative that it's completely flipped the script on it, that most pro brewers are all about it, that's really wild. And in a short period of time.
Yeah.
So, look, I'm still a White Labs guy, just want you to know.
I mean,
But-
we all love Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. I actually might have, if you want to, I might have a commercial pitch in my cold box. He was just on the show a couple weeks ago, and they brought like some of their new Pure Pitch
Pure
packaging
Pitch,
and
yeah.
stuff. I wanted to check it all out, and he left it all with me. It should be, it's a pro pitch. So if either of
What
you
yeast
need
is it? Do you know?
some yeast, I don't remember. Well, we'll check it out at the break.
Yeah.
He gave me a bunch of homebrew ones and a couple pro pitches.
What are you going to do with the pro pitch?
I'm gonna give it to one of you. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
He
cool.
told me, he's like, just keep it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a pro in here in another week or so I'll give it to somebody.
I like it.
Yeah. the little packets I'm giving to somebody in our local homebrew club, plus one of my guys here, our beer buyer, Lewis. Actually, he homebrews. So it works out. And then, I reminded myself of it today to give to one of you two.
Well, if I
You guys are going to have to arm wrestle.
I was going to say if I have to arm wrestle, I will lose. I mean, did you see Madison here? Jesus, this guy's like yoked out.
It's a tight T-shirt. It's all right.
Yeah,
tight t-shirt.
that's all I just shrunk it this way. Yeah. Now, do you guys at Canyon Club have a bunch of standards that you're just rotating through all the time, or do you just brew new stuff all the time?
Both. I mean,
Okay.
I do bring back a lot of styles. We do have like a couple core brands that we consistently make, but yeah, there's also a lot of like, let's try that. Like we got that smoke lager on tap right now. That was one of those like I've wanted to make that for so long.
Nice.
Let's just do it.
Yeah,
Right on.
we're going to try that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Smoked Hellas. We'll do that. So I've been to Canyon Club once. Doc, my dentist, is
Doc.
across
Right
the
across
street.
the street. Yeah.
He texted me today, by the way, because he found out you're going to be on the show, and told me to tell you he's sorry and he'll come over and talk water with you
I would
soon.
love to do that.
Right, like he's a water guy,
Yeah.
even after all
Oh,
these
really?
years. Oh yeah,
Wow,
Doc.
that's cool.
I mean, I guess his knowledge might be a little old by now, but water's water, right?
Water, yeah.
And he was definitely like the water scientist.
Is
so
he
I
still a dentist?
He's still a dentist, and he still has that. He's doing this weird like full circle thing right now because he's doing well there. He's still my dentist. I had to have major work done, so I went to your place first to
Kind of numb it a little bit.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest here. And I'll get back to my experience in a second. But now he's bought a house, like a retirement house in Lake Havasu, which is like where I grew up for a while. He's doing this weird like reverse Justin cycle. I don't know.
I haven't seen that guy forever.
Well, he's remarried.
Are you really seriously?
Yeah, great lady, very good for
Oh,
him.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, it's working out well. And anyhow, so I went to Canyon Club. I was like, I gotta see this place. You have a lot of beer on tap.
Yeah.
Like to me, for a small pub like you are, that was a lot of variety.
Yeah.
I mean, the sampler platter, it would have been like the Russian River one, where it's like 100 glasses. Have you ever seen the Russian River one? You
it's
know
like
what I'm talking about.
21 beers for
You
like
guys have a lot.
Yeah, we have 10 right now.
10. Oh, gosh, I thought it was double that. at
We
least.
have a lot of taps. I mean, we do
Okay.
pour guest beers as well. But
Okay,
yes.
okay.
But right now, I currently have 10. I've filled that whole lineup once.
I see.
Because turnover is kind of going.
Yeah.
We're a smaller brewery.
Right.
So,
Well, and so let's talk about that because you guys are like a local, very local community brewery.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that are not from the Bay Area, in this really quaint little town called Moraga. And it's not, Moraga's not really a place where people travel out of their way to.
no, it's a bedroom community.
But it's a nice population.
Yes.
So it needs a pub like yours.
Yes.
So you guys do okay
And it has
with
a
that?
college. I mean, St. Mary's College is right
Oh,
there.
true. Oh, do you
That's
guys have like
right.
big weekends there?
Yes.
Or you do? Okay.
The kids come in.
Yes. And we have a lot of St. Mary's staff.
See, I can see the staff more. A lot of the like the younger kids there, they go to that dive bar in Lafayette. They go to the Roundup.
Oh,
The Roundup. I remember the Roundup.
The
Oh my
Roundup.
god.
Yeah.
I can't even
Great
believe
place.
it.
It is a great place. Yeah. But you're also, you're like bike ride distance from St. Mary's. Okay, so that's part of your population too, the college. And then there's a country club right behind you too, I
Yeah,
think.
there's a country club.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is not Canyon Club, is it? No.
They don't even pour our beer.
Oh, really? Because they don't know what they're talking about. Do they pour other craft beer?
I'm assuming they have taps somewhere.
Must have something, right? Yeah. But that's a big money country club, too. So they might just want their snooty, I don't know what. They don't know. They just
sure
want
those are-
Stella.
Some crazy dudes for that place.
Just give me a
I actually
Stella.
belong to that club, so I mean, I'm just kidding.
Nobody's surprised. Sully. Yeah. Sully's alter ego is a snooty rich guy.
Exactly. I've got loafers on without socks.
I'm still waiting for
Where's my
somebody there
Stella?
to give me the invite to play golf, though.
Oh, heck yeah.
I would like to play that course.
So I
Dude,
saw
you have to. Why
I
don't
gotta
you tap
get
in?
in- I gotta get in nice with
You have
somebody.
to have a customer there that
Yeah.
like can get you in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go golfing the other day with my friend from Original Pattern, Andy Crocker. And it was me and Kate and him and his wife. And I get there and I see Christian walk by. I'm like, oh, Christian, you're golfing. And then I see Roger walk by. And then I see Nico walk by. And then
That's
I see
right.
Randy walk by. And there's like 100 brewers at my local club out here.
Yeah.
How'd you do that day?
Oh, well, let's just say if we scored golfing like we do bowling, I had a great day.
Great day. Yeah. Yeah. Is I feel like golf, or at least I think Roger has been spearheading this. It's like really spreading in
Yeah.
the East Bay brewing community, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you've gone with him more
Just that
than
one time, but
Okay.
we have plans to go more.
Okay. Do you golf a lot?
I'm starting to pick it back up. I did
Okay.
in a previous life.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't. Someone asked me. I think Kevin here asked it. Has Sully ever gone golfing with you? And I was like, I don't think I've ever golfed with Sully.
No, I mean I'm not a big golfer. That's why I don't like participate in those shenanigans.
They're fun.
Yeah, but
They're super fun.
Actually, funny story. Roger and I started golfing years ago. We went to Montclair. You know Montclair?
Yeah.
This is in the East Bay Hills there, and it's like a par 3. And we didn't know that. We showed up with our bags.
Full bag,
full
yeah.
bags. We're like, yeah, here we go. And we're like, wait, we only need a putter and a wedge.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a good day though on a par 3.
It was a good day.
Let's talk about your Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
That's in our glass.
So I went traditional Munich style fest beer. I didn't want to go Märzen.
I like that.
So
I like
lighter,
that too,
lighter in
yeah.
color, lighter in body. Pale malt and or Pilsner malt and a little bit of Cara Munich, and then Saaz all the way through.
Just sauce.
I was Cara Munich 2 as well, was
Yeah,
it?
it was Cara Munich too.
Okay.
I like it. I love this style.
Yeah, and then we lagered it fermented out, or we had it in the fermenter for at least 21 days, and then lagered it in the bright for another 3 weeks after.
Wow.
But yeah,
Whoa.
when was the actual brew day? It was like
was-
end of June or
that.
something?
Yeah, late July. No, it was late July.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Do you do
super
a-
bright. My gosh.
It is, and it is a great fest beer. I like fest beer more than I like Märzen too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same
I mean, I'll always have one pint of Märzen. That's good, but then it's a little on the sweet side for me. Also in Munich, they'd be like Märzen. Get rid of this.
Yeah, it was years ago when I went to, there's a German restaurant where I live in Alameda, and they brought in kegs of the Hofbrau fest beer once, and I
Right.
was like, holy, what is this? And oh my god, I never realized that was even a thing. This was years ago.
Yeah, that's the spot too.
And
That's
that was
good.
it was so good.
I mean, if you think about it, this is where we're you don't know until you know. You're drinking liter steins of it at the fest, so
Yeah.
it never would have been a Märzen. You can't drink
like
liters of that.
6.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Märzen, maybe you have that at dinner in a pint or whatever. It wouldn't be a pint; it'd be a half liter or something.
I think Augustiner's Fest beer is like about 6% alcohol.
Oh, right.
there you go.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to drink because it's not so sweet. It's
Yeah.
it's like it's like a lot like this one here.
But I think you're right in that their fest beers are a slightly more alcohol, slightly more ABV than their Helles.
Yeah.
Like all of the brewers.
Yes.
And that's what the Germans like about it. They're like, oh yeah, no, when fest beer comes around, we get a little more alcohol.
Yeah, that's the thing that can get you into trouble. I mean, you're at you're in the 10 at Oktoberfest, which you've been at. I mean, and you got your big like liter Stein, and it's like it's easy drinking, and you were ruined.
Yeah.
And then you're on the American Hill with the other Americans passed out,
Yeah, exactly.
possibly puking.
Right. I know. I remember it being a great time too, Sully. You don't need to put it that way.
That is on my list of destiny. I got to do it. I have not done Oktoberfest out there
Let's
yet.
go. We can be there tomorrow.
Oh, really?
It's going on right now.
It is.
It is. Yeah, we're having our Oktoberfest here all week long at the Hop Grenade. I can't. Yeah, you got to go, Christian. I think it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Food wise too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, I would still call it gourmet food, but it's just traditional German fare. But they do it well.
Roasted
It's so
chickens.
good.
I mean,
yeah,
sausages.
Handels, I think they're called. The
Handel-
roasted
yeah,
chickens,
yeah.
right?
What are you doing here?
And I don't know. I just got back from Vegas. Actually, it was. I can't afford Europe right now, so I just went to Vegas. It was my birthday Monday.
Really?
Oh, happy birthday. Right on.
Turned old.
I didn't know that. Happy birthday.
I did baseball. I know you're a baseball fan, Christian. I did the Dodgers Giants game on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
I mean, except that we lost. Yeah.
Again.
And then I flew to Vegas on Sunday, which has a Hofbrauhaus. Have you been to the Hofbrauhaus
No,
in Vegas?
no.
It's actually pretty authentic.
That's nice.
Yeah. Vegas does everything pretty close to what it should be. It's good enough, is what I should say.
These walls are real.
But yeah. When's the last time you did an Oktoberfest, Sully?
In Germany,
Yeah.
it was probably 2014, but I was actually in Germany in May,
Oh, right.
just as a kind of a trip with my gal and another friend, and yeah, so I was there for that, and I drank. I was actually staying at the Augustiner Hotel right by the fairgrounds where Oktoberfest takes place.
I did not know that
you
existed.
need to stay at that hotel.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Augustiner. Anyway, enough of my trip.
All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more with Canyon Club Brewery right after these messages. Hang in there. It's The Session. Welcome back to The Session. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are still here with Canyon Club Brewery, and we are talking all sorts of good beer with Christian and Madison, and we got a couple more in our glass now, too, which... we all went for, I'll give a shout out to Roger, we all went for Faction's Hipster Conformant Industrial Lager at the break as our palate cleanser beer. And then now we're about to try, we got both an IPA and a smoked Helles. And so you have some passion for smoked Helles?
Yeah, so it was the trip to Denver at Bierstadt Lagerhaus.
Bierstadt.
And they did a smoked lager that I had a couple years ago, and I was like, holy shit. This is freaking awesome. And I just I have to make this.
So I just want to say, Bierstadt should be paying me.
Right.
For the amount of times professional brewers come in this room and mention their beer, it's uncanny. And of course, it's always a trip to GABF.
Yeah.
And now when you go there, if you're missing any of your brewer friends, just go to Bierstadt.
That's definitely where the most of them are
They are
probably
hanging out there. They're like ordering their first pint or a glass, and then they're waiting for the next one.
Right, yeah. Especially since, rest in peace, since Falling Rock closed down, then there's even more people going that way. Okay, so you had their smoked lager, and you just thought, okay, I got it.
I go try it, yeah.
And do you like, are you like a whiskey person? Do you like smoke flavor and a lot of different things?
Not really so much. It was what I liked most about it, and it was what I did with this is it was just that subtle hint of the smoke was there, but it still had that little bit of that malt sweetness and really well balanced.
Okay.
That really just hit for me.
Did you ask them about their recipe, or just kind of take the
I just
tasting
kinda
cues
winged it.
yeah?
Yeah.
What do you do when you wing it? You still have to go look up the style,
I do.
right?
Yeah. And I did consult with a few friends of mine that brew with smoked malt, what sort of percentages should I be using if I want to achieve this? And we came to an agreement on it was 15%.
15% of, and what's the smoked malt? Is it peat?
Beechwood.
Beechwood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's way better than peat. Yeah, I'm kind of offended by peat smoke.
Peat can
Doesn't
get a
really-
little
Yeah.
get a little bacony.
Tastes like a dump. Yeah.
I like it. Christian's like bacony, and you're like, dump.
Tastes like a dump. This is delicious.
Break it down. This is nice.
And it's kind of it's exactly how you described the other one, like a little sweetness to back up the smoke. I'm not a fan of smoke, so it has to have something else going on with it to me. And this has that, yeah, just a little bit of malt sweetness under there too.
Yeah.
The colors threw me off because so we have two glasses in front of us, and one's an IPA and one's the smoked, and I grabbed the lighter one, thinking,
Yeah, no, this has got a
right
little
ahead.
got a little bit of a golden color to it. Yeah.
Did that come from the smoke malt?
No,
then?
that came from a little bit of Caramunic.
Okay, got it. Was
I
that
don't know
your-
why you're looking at me.
was that not your idea to
No,
throw that?
that was-
Yeah. Yeah, you got to put a little meat behind this. I feel like. What's the ABV on it?
5.3. Yeah.
Very drinkable.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it makes you search for the smoke. You want to go back and be like, where was that?
Well, right. And so when I grabbed the other glass and I just went for the nose first, and I'm like, wow, he really went light on the smoke here. And then I was like, or I'm being an idiot. Okay, but still, then when I did find the smoke in the nose, it's still really light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is light. It's definitely accessible. I like it. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel smoke beer is a tough style.
Yeah, you can go way overboard. You know, I know people who actually 100% smoked malt in their beer, which is kind of outrageous in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like very toned down smoked malt, but I mean, this is nice. I mean, you also have to like, you know, who's your audience? You know,
Right.
it's like you have to always think about that. So this is really great.
But that's what I was going to say about the audience part. For me, smoked beer, it's one of those beers that if you give to like a new craft beer drinker or someone who doesn't drink craft beer,
Yeah.
you've just ruined them for the next 5 years. They're gonna carry on with that idea in their head that craft beer sucks and
Yeah.
is ridiculous. But this one, I think I could give to a new beer person and they would love it.
Yeah, it's super drinkable. I mean, and also, I mean, I think about where you're located and all that. I mean, I just think it's
Yeah.
nice. Super. It's the drinkability is very high.
And it's your first one.
That's the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. How's it going over at the pub?
It's going over.
See, it is still because you kind of maybe just take the word
Yeah.
out of it. I don't know.
You have to
Smoked IPA.
What's it called? What are you calling it?
Benson and Hellas.
Yeah, see, that's a brilliant name.
I thought the
is
name
a
was
good name.
great.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what you have to do. That's how you sell it. You know.
Yeah.
It's the name. It's like Pete's Wicked Ale was an American brown ale, which back in the day when brown ales nobody knew what that was, but the name sold the beer. So you always
Right.
have to sell the beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Benson to Hellas just reminds me of going to the liquor store and buying cigarettes for my parents when I was a kid.
Well, that's the thing is those were like the
sneaking
cigarettes that my aunt's family smoked.
Yeah, 100%. They're like, here, get yourself an ice cream. And that was back when at the liquor store, they didn't care if you
Right.
bought cigarettes for your parents. Like,
That's a great name.
yeah.
See, I had to look it up. I didn't know what that was.
Oh, yeah. It's,
Oh,
you're too young.
I had to explain it to a lot of the younger staff. Like,
That's so
this was
funny.
this is named after cigarettes that your uncles probably smoked.
Exactly.
I love it.
I wonder if it still exists. If that's,
I
they
don't
must.
know. I don't know.
I think they have to still
Yeah.
exist somewhere. Maybe not at every liquor store.
Maybe
but-
there's candy cigarettes named after it.
yeah, exactly.
Remember those? Oh.
Yeah, I do. A little puff of sugar
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you blow out of
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Start 'em young.
Yeah. There were just really a lot of wrong things that we did.
Absolutely. Lawn darts. What happened to Joey? He's stuck to the ground.
Freaking lawn darts. They were massive pieces of artillery. If you really
And you
looked at it.
tossed in your yard.
At a crowded barbecue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. Smoke your Bensons and hedges. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Now, do you just want to use like a clean lager yeast, or do you want yeast to add something to this? What
No, I
did you-
wanted some clean lager yeast because
Okay.
I wanted to focus on showcasing that malt character on it.
And sorry, what was the exact smoke malt that you used?
Beechwood smoke.
Just Beechwood smoke. What brand?
It's Wireman.
Wire. Okay. Yeah, you got to go Wireman with the German stuff, don't you? Yeah,
Well,
That's
Legit.
most of my beers are made from Wireman.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like Wireman a lot.
that's good malt. Okay, and then we've got your West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
in our glass
solid
too.
IPA.
Light. It's on the lighter
Yeah.
SRM, right?
It's again, I guess it's a West Coast IPA because I brew it on the West Coast.
Right. Okay.
You know, it is Pilsner malt and oatmeal, and
But it's clear. It's
it
clear.
smells amazing.
Yeah.
What are you hopping this with?
Strata and Citra,
All
and
right.
a little bit of Huell Melon.
Wow.
Oh, that's a nice addition to Strata, I think.
Yeah.
We talked about this on some recent shows, that Strata is a little polarizing. And I feel like it's the batch you get. Because like some brewers will do 100% Strata or just 2 hops, and I'm going, I don't know, it's got something weird going on to it. Whereas others, I love it, and it's a little melony. Mm-hmm. So to add the Huel to that, I think that's a smart move. Mm-hmm. Are you all pellet hops in the brewery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have the ability to
some
use...
cryo. But,
I mean...
Okay, cryo. But nothing whole flour.
But nothing whole flour. I mean...
Is there cryo in this?
We could... No.
Okay.
We could use whole flour, but we would be probably running it into the mash tun or something.
It's really good.
Using that as a hop back.
How
or just using bags.
Okay.
Your beers are really brilliant. Mm-hmm. How are you what are you doing? Fining?
Biofine.
Biofine. Mm-hmm. They're really nice.
Just let it gently settle out.
Mm-hmm. You said gently.
Yeah, I mean, it also helps
it's
that
lovely.
we have serving tanks too, so that helps because it just sits there and
Is your whole, other than guest, is all of your Canyon Club beers out of serving tanks?
Few of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we do have
kegs.
to take off.
And you do outside accounts too. I know
Yes.
we bought some beer from you, but that's a whole thing for you guys also. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is a great IPA.
Yeah. It's bright. It's clean.
Solid,
it's
you could say.
It's which is
It
the
is
name
the
of it,
solid.
right? It's just called Solid
Hold on,
IPA.
that's the name of the beer?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm older.
Do you have like the biggest book of recipes on the planet because you've been doing this for a while? Like, is this so? These are new recipes. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
A lot of them are. Most of them are all new recipes.
You like to just go for new stuff. You're not just pulling it out of some dusty binder. Yeah.
I will reference something if I need to.
Okay.
Like if I'm going to brew something I haven't made in a long time that I was like, I think I made that when I was at Iron Springs.
Okay.
I can probably see if I still have a
dude,
copy of that or at least something that referenced it.
Yeah.
You have wisdom. I mean, that's time and experience. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, so you're like tapping into DNA that you don't even know about. I mean, you don't even have to like think about it. Like, well, let's just do that. And it's like, okay.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah, that's the way it is. That's how I feel.
Which is, to me, is probably because Strata being a newish hop for this, like tapping into that knowledge, even though some of the ingredients are new strains, new whatever, you still just kind of know what to do with it. And I guess let's talk about your food background with that too. So over the years, I've talked to some of my favorite brewers, and the way they talk about ingredients, they're like, well, to me, it's always a mystery that they know what the resulting beer is going to taste like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. I can't think that way about it. But they're like, well, we just taste the ingredients and we know what it tastes together.
Yep.
Colin Kaminsky used to come in and say, well, I just put a handful of all of the little bits of all of the malt and I chew on that together. And he's like, that's pretty much what the malt side's going to taste like.
That's what Brian Hunt used to do. He used to count out like he would have 100 like kernels of malt, and he would divide it up like 80 kernels of pale malt. Like let's say 20 kernels of like crystal malt. Like that's what he would
and then
do.
taste it that way. And he's like, so that's what when Colin said it to me, he just looked at me like I was a moron. He was like, yeah, then just taste it. I was like, all right, I guess, but it's still going to alter during fermentation.
Yeah.
And but
I don't
anyhow,
know. You ever tasted Pell hops?
But yes, yeah. Yeah.
Once.
But do you think of it like food that way? Where you're just tasting the ingredients and you know how it's going to come out?
Yeah, or smelling.
Smelling too. In the case of hops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in the case of... I mean, Christian, I think you and I have the same thing. I mean, I'm a big food guy, too, and I actually approach brewing as cooking with, the science background as well. And I love that approach because it's like, you sprinkle a little bit of this in here and that in there, and you kind of know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Are you ever surprised by new hops? Like, you're like, well,
Yes.
shit, that didn't come out like I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
That happens quite a bit sometimes.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, why the fuck did I contract that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Well, there's that aspect of it. Yeah. Then you got to figure out a home for them and all that stuff too. But I like the new hop. I mean, I love new hops. I mean, that's like the most like innovation that's happening for me in a lot of ways is hops. And so, for like you and I, like old school brewers in a lot of ways, I mean, that's the exciting part of it. Like, what can we do with this stuff?
Mm-hmm. I want to start playing with terpenes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we just got some samples of terpenes from, I can't remember the name of the company offhand right now.
I couldn't tell you.
They smell wonderful. They just smell so good.
Have you played with any of the GMO yeast from Berkeley Yeast?
Madison has, and that's something else that I want to try.
We used to, we were playing around with that a long time ago, and we were like, now we're kind of like I'm looking to play with it more. So
You're talking about the yeast that is specifically designed to bring out terpenes.
yeah, they're like splicing the gene of let's say this is a very dumbed down version of it, of like a basil gene into with a hop gene, kind of
Yeah.
and then brewing with it. So
Okay.
Well,
but they become very they're very forward thinking on this stuff. So
Right.
GMO is not not the kind of the correct way I would describe it, because that says it's not.
It has a negative connotation, but it is
it's
what
not
it is.
Monsanto.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
It's not
Monsanto.
pesticide resistant.
No.
Right. Now, so with terpenes, you're just getting isn't it just like oils?
No, these are water soluble.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you use them, that they have specific flavors that you're looking for?
They're all over the spectrum. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but they don't add bitterness or something like that?
It's all for aroma and some flavor.
And they sell them as for other industries,
Okay.
not beer.
Oh, I see. So it's not just like Yakima Valley hops or whatever, just selling. Okay. So if you, I'll just make it simple too, but if you wanted more pine to come out of your West Coast IPA, then there's a terpene for that. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or passion fruit or
Right.
There's one that's
mango
like
or
pineapple.
Pineapple was crazy.
Yeah, brewers are really playing around with new flavors that are available that back in the day you would never play with. Everything from natural flavors to terpenes to all. It's just a. It's,
Well, that and I'm going to get better yields too, because I'm not taking up all that space with vegetal matter.
Right.
You
I
know?
see. So you would then, in that case, would you just use a bittering hop and then add terpenes, or would you still have flavor and aroma
Maybe,
hops?
yeah, I'm going to play around with it.
Yeah.
Or a hop shot.
Yeah.
Then you're not using any plant matter at all.
Right. Those are the oils that I was thinking of, right? Where you can just add
hop shot
a
was
bittering.
like a bittering oil.
Okay.
And then the terpenes don't
Just on
have any
top of
alpha
that.
acids. Yeah.
That would be crazy. Imagine a hoppy, dank beer without any hops in it. And just fool me with it, too, is what I want you to do. Just wait till I taste it, and I go, wow, how are you getting that out of your hops? And you're like, I didn't use hops.
Not hops.
Not hops. Yeah, see, those are technologies. Like I said, there's not
Yeah.
a ton of innovation, but that's a lot of
it's a
innovation.
new world order. Actually, people.
And it's fun to play around with, but I'm still going to be a purist. I'm still going to make beers
Sure.
with beer stuff.
with food stuff.
Well,
flavored beer.
But we're also going to find out, there's so many interactions that happen in the process of brewing a beer and boiling a beer that we still don't know about. So when you start removing things and you're like, well, shit, where did that thing go?
Yeah.
We're going to end up discovering, because if you don't boil, this one little thing doesn't happen.
Right.
And I feel like that knowledge has started to really advance in the last 10 years, where we've just started to learn, if we don't do this traditional process, this is missing.
I'm kind of thinking we're maybe paralleling a little bit what happened in the food world about 10, 15 years ago,
Yes.
where everything was getting deconstructed and then molecular gastronomy and all that sort of stuff. We're kind of seeing something similar happening on our world right now.
Yeah. I
And
think
it's
you're
fun
right.
to play around with.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, especially
Let's put some more science into it. you
yeah.
know?
Well, and that's kind of what I mean. Brewers, I think you are scientists, but not in a lab. There's very few a controlled lab environment happening where we're watching the results of beer, right? So, yeah, more of that. Which we'll keep advancing throughout our life until our exit strategy, pine box.
Pine box.
Right.
I'm going to
Stainless steel box.
Yeah, stainless steel box, please. Yeah,
I think we're
thank you.
supposed to
I'm
be
a
buried
brewer, goddammit.
with a tree in us. Actually, I think that's what we're supposed to do now.
Get put into the pod and become a
Yeah, you're not-
sycamore
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah, you're not supposed to,
that'd be cool.
Just dry hop me.
Dry hop.
Yeah.
That's the name of a new beer, by the way.
Dry hop me. Yeah. And it's sister beer, Pine Box. It's a good IPA name, really.
It is actually.
That'll be, we'll talk to John about that first. One of his anniversary beers. So all right. So you guys brew, how big's your system?
It's only 7 barrels. It's pretty small.
And that's enough to supply the brew house, but you're
Barely.
also doing outside accounts.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are contracting with
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. You've already started to do
Yes.
that. Okay. What beers do you like? Is it just an IPA? Is it just a big?
It's an IPA and a Kolsch right
and a
now.
Kolsch. Okay. Your Kolsch is popular. Mm-hmm. I feel like I remember your Kolsch from even Triple Rock days. You're good.
Iron Springs.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's what it was. Iron Springs days. Yeah.
They just sold, didn't they?
Yeah, they're
Now they're
owned
part
by,
of,
they're owned by Hen House.
That's right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's a good merger, I feel like. Yeah.
Not the worst brewery to buy it. Yeah.
No, we sell a lot of Hen House.
Yeah, it's great.
They're really
Yeah,
good.
Hen House is great.
They're good brewers. Makes some
They
good
did a
stuff.
nice job redoing the that pub in Fairfax.
But is it still Iron Springs? Like it's still called that, or is it now? They just changed it to.
I think
Yeah,
it's
Mike
just
Altman
called
left and-
Fairfax Pub or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not even called Hen House or Iron Springs.
It is called a Hen House, but they call
Oh,
it like
I see.
It's some other. It's not the Coop or anything like, but it's something to do with that.
Got it. Okay. All
Or
right.
West
You need to
Marin.
get Colin on here.
Right.
Yeah.
Explain the whole thing
Right.
out.
Yeah.
But they did a nice job transforming it.
Nice. Who's brewing your beer when you do contract? You allowed to talk about that?
Well, we're transitioning, and
Oh.
I'm not quite sure if I
You're
want
not
to go
sure.
there yet.
Okay. Because I know there's some good. I mean, we've all known Sully has a history of partner brewing, but I know of other breweries in the
Hey,
Bay
let's call
too.
it partner, please. You
that,
said contract too many times, sir.
But I just said partner.
Okay. All
I
right.
only say partner in reference to you.
Okay.
Everyone else I say contract, but when I bring up Sully or 2-1A, I say partner.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm just trained that way.
Good, good.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is that I know of great breweries in the Bay Area that people don't know a contract brew. So I'm hoping it's one of them too. You know, like it doesn't have this negative thing to me anymore.
No, I mean, I think a long time ago it did, and I think now it's like you don't have to own your kettles to make good beer. I mean, especially if you're on top of it, like you guys have been, and like just making sure and ensuring that things are happening correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about it. So
I wanted to contract brew with Jamil at Heretic. He told me no.
Why did he say no?
I think he knew I'd fuck it up, like I was on the sales side.
Really?
But no, at the time, I think in his head he knew I'd fuck it up. But I think what he said, which also made sense, he was like, you really can't afford me. He's like, for me to take space, like wherever he was, for me to take space out for my own beer is going to cost you too much money.
Well,
I have to charge you like triple what it costs to make this beer.
You're going to make a hop grenade beer?
Yeah, I wanted to make a hop grenade beer. I wanted to have like a hop grenade brand
That's a great idea.
of beer. I thought so.
I mean,
But-
what do you want to do? Let's talk about it. No,
We can talk about it. Yeah, whatever it has, just has to leave me mostly out of the equation. I just need to license and then license and taste. You know, that was a problem. Like I'm
Yeah.
running 2 companies now, neither of them all that successfully.
Oh, you're doing
and
fine,
then,
sir.
the other thing was to start a brewery, and I was like, I don't know, man. But I went to talk to Jamil about it first, and I was surprised to find I thought he'd just love it, and he's like, no, it's too much money. You can't. You're not going to.
the margins are slim.
The margins are slim.
Yeah, so-
and especially if you're a brewery that's at capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, if you own the former, cereal conglomerate of the planet Earth, then you have room for a very, very large brewery. But if you're Jamil,
I don't know what you're saying, but I appreciate the accolade there. I think.
just saying size matters, Sully, in your case.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay. Well, these are delicious beers.
They are.
you.
The IP is amazing, actually.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling like I should have gotten a full pint of the IPA.
Well, you should.
It's one of the nicest ones.
Still
I've
got
ever
4
loved.
pale ales sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, we can try pale ale.
Oh
too.
yeah. So Christian, when are we going to do a collaboration beer?
What, tell me.
Well, I want to come. So we were just talking in the break. Like I have not been to your place yet, which is insulting to me and you. But I have to get over there. Let's do it.
There's a few brewers that have not been over there yet.
It's out of the way, man.
Schedule
I'm
it
on
to
board.
It is. Cleaning?
It is.
I mean,
It is a destination.
So I like the location. It is a little bit like it's like, but it's accessible and I got to get over there and it's beautiful too. So I want to get there.
Just schedule a teeth cleaning, and then
I want
No, but then you
want
can't-
Doc to come over too.
yeah.
That would be fun.
But then you can't eat or drink for an hour after you get your teeth
good
cleaned,
fill.
right?
Can you?
Isn't that what they say?
Is that
I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure. Who's got an empty glass?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Yeah. Just do
What
it.
do you want to brew?
We were just talking about Belgians.
We were talking
You want-
about
you want-
doing,
you
we
wanna
were
do a
just talking
watermelon-
about doing a Belgian beer. I haven't really nailed the sour yet. You
Yeah.
know,
Let's do
Oh,
some
right.
Philly sour, yeah.
Let's do a kettle soured Belgian watermelon beer.
Wow.
watermelon.
You just went
Oh,
for
God,
it. You
melons
went
are
for
so-
I
everything.
just wanted to drop watermelon into the conversation. I was like looking for an inroad there.
It would be fun. It would be fun to do something with something seasonal, some seasonal fruit.
Yeah.
You know,
There you go. What's seasonal right now?
I don't know. We're getting
End
into,
of summer
We're
is
getting
tough.
into
Oh, pumpkin
apples
beer.
and-
Let's go.
right.
Let's
There
go.
it goes.
That's not a fruit, right? Well, maybe it
Let's
is.
talk- so what are your feelings on pumpkin beer?
It can be
Is
done
it-
well.
Is it like pineapple in
So-
ham pizzas?
I think pumpkin doesn't actually have that much flavor.
No, it doesn't.
It's the spices that
It's
do
the
it for me.
slickness.
I mean,
it's
I
a
do like
mouthfeel
I do
thing.
like a good pumpkin
You
pie,
can do a
but I'm
pumpkin
not
beer,
a fan of it
a
in my
convincing.
beer.
You can do a convincing pumpkin beer with no pumpkin.
Right, because you just put the allspice
Yeah,
shit in.
that's
all the
all.
spice.
That's all you
Nutmeg.
want. You need
Right.
ginger, cinnamon, allspice.
I
clove.
like
Brown
pumpkin beers.
sugar
I'm going
and
to
all
say
that.
it
You
right
do
now.
still?
Yeah. So
All
I
these
mean, I
years?
did a pumpkin beer collaboration with Dick Cantwell years ago when he was at Elysian, and even when after he left that, we did two
Those were
pumpkin
cool
beers.
when you guys did those pumpkin
Yeah,
beers,
it was
yeah.
the Baltic Porter with caraway and what was in there, tarragon, and the other one was a triple with Gall and God damn it, what was it? Anyway,
But see, those are different. See, to me,
yeah, they were unique.
yeah, because
but-
because to me, pumpkin beer is just like this one-trick pony.
So
right?
I mean, I think actually pumpkin beers kind of fell out of favor because there were so many of them, and it's also like at this time of year with seasonals, there's so many seasonals right now, so it's hard for distributors to like sell them. You know, you got like Oktoberfest, you got pumpkin beers, you got winter's beers. I mean, it just becomes this thing like in a very short period of time. So, but pumpkin beers are coming back.
Yeah.
And because I just brewed one, but
yeah.
but I think it's also like I just think it's there's a nostalgia thing to it. I think right now
Sure.
we're kind of looking for nostalgia because we've been without like a normal life, you know, in a lot of ways for the last few
I'd
years.
like to see red ales come back.
Yeah.
Well, you can make them come back.
Yeah. that
I've
one's going to
always
be a
liked
while.
If you
I've
brew
always
it-
liked a good red ale.
We had a good red ale the other day. I think we had Mare Island. We had their
Yes.
red ale. That was a
Nice.
nice red ale.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think you can bring them back. Just don't call it a red ale.
Right.
Because I
Or
remember
call it
call it
something
red
like a red
IPA.
ale. Give a good name like Benson and Hedges.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because Elysian, my roommate got the multi pack of pumpkin beers. They had like 4 different pumpkin beers
Yeah.
in a variety pack, and like the Imperial Stout one was killer.
Yeah, I just think there's an opportunity to. I mean, and I also think people like this time of year. Fall is one of my favorite times of year, and I think just like, you know, it'd be fun to have more. I mean, you know, people,
you're right.
and you're actually trying to sell the beer too. So pumpkin sells, I think.
But they should I just think they should be different like you are making them.
Yeah.
That's all. They all
Yeah.
just, you know, because that's what I mean. They just for so long, it was like, cool. And then here's my allspice pumpkin beer.
Are you doing a pumpkin beer?
Here's my
No, we have not made a pumpkin beer.
Okay.
I haven't made a pumpkin beer in probably over a decade.
I did a pumpkin hazy IPA. It's about to release next week. So
Really? At the pub?
yeah,
Wow.
Wait, are you serious?
yeah, I'm
Oh,
100%
man.
serious, man.
What spice did you put in it?
I can't tell you that. It's secret.
Did you put
I mean-
pumpkin spices in it? Like like pumpkin
traditional.
pie?
It's traditional pumpkin spices.
Okay.
and it has pumpkin puree in it, and
Nice.
it's a hazy IPA.
And what hops?
Citra and Comet.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
it's going to be delicious.
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Where do you find it? 563 Second Street. I'm going to be there next week. I'll go.
Okay, well, we have to brew. We're going to brew a pumpkin beer, Christian.
I don't know. Christians were not ready for that.
I don't think he's ready.
Are our ovens big enough? We have to roast that.
Nah, you know, I just use canned pumpkin.
It's fine. Well, like you
Persimmons
said, the
is
pumpkin
good.
flavor's hard to get out of it anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Look, it adds slickness and mouthfeel. So, I mean, that's the thing about it. And
I've heard
body a little bit.
sweet potato's the way to go if you want pumpkin character.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
But you were right earlier. I think, Christian, you said it, is that it's the spices that kind of build the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I just think there's, you know, and you can nuance other things on top of it. So,
Sure. All right, let's talk about this pale ale that you brewed, Madison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is Madison's beer.
Yeah.
ale, let's
Sweet.
do it.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So this is just a single hop edition. There's only a Whirlpool. So the idea is just to focus that hop utilization to a specific point, like get exactly what you want out of that hops and nothing else. And then
Okay.
you're just throwing in so much that the bitterness comes through anyways.
I see. Is it all one hop variety too, or
This was Cryo Mosaic and Simcoe.
okay, nice. And then it's also lighter on the SRM side.
Yeah,
you went with
totally.
that. So what's the
There's-
malt bill?
There's it was like 30% Vienna, mostly Pilsner, and then some oats for body.
Okay. Yeah, this is a nice pale ale.
No dry hops. It was all just that
Really?
one edition.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I
we
wouldn't have
just-
guessed that.
And,
Yeah.
the whole thing too is, and we're starting to play around with it more, is we're bringing that temp down after the boil to add those hops.
So the
we're not
Whirlpool's a
cooking them.
lower temp than normal.
Yeah, it's like 180.
Yeah, 180,
Okay.
175.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, interesting. But then and then it's there for the whole knockout. So we're talking it's just there for 20 minutes or
Well, it probably whirlpooled for like 20 minutes and then let it settle for another 10, 15,
Yeah.
and then get it out.
and then knock out.
What's the ABV?
5.6?
Dude, this is delicious. And there's no dry hops?
No dry hops.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just targeted. Just
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great beer.
Can
A
that
great
up.
pale ale. Pale ale?
Fill the cooler.
Oh, pale ale.
One drop.
That's the
Yeah.
style that people like are demanding right now, I think.
And it was just a ton of hop matter, though, for this one, of pellets?
Yeah,
well,
but
one you
it's
said
not-
was cryo, didn't you? So
it
that's
was
not-
cryo, but it was a lot of hops. But it doesn't. I mean, most of that's staying in the kettle, so you're still.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could probably top off the kettle a little bit more, but you're not.
I see,
losing
but it's not a
anything in
big
the
deal
dry
because it's
hop.
not in the fermenter. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. So you got more volume in the end than you normally would. Because
It came out about normal. It came out about normal.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot at the bottom of the kettle that we had
Okay.
to run off.
got it. Yeah, that's a great pale ale.
Pale ales.
Yeah, you know it.
I
You know
don't
that
think
I'm
those
always.
I don't think pails are ever going to go out of style.
So-
I'm going to die on that hill.
Did you
I
get
don't,
my?
I don't want pails
Yes.
to go out of style.
Did you both get my invite? So we're having a first ever Hop Grenade Pale Ale Fest.
Whoa!
So it's either I screwed up and didn't send it to you, Christian, or it's in your junk mailbox. But you are invited. Yeah, I've been wanting to do it for years. It's just my favorite style.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not even gonna lie. I've just taken cues out of my friend Vic over at the Bistro. In fact, I called him up right away and I was like, "Hey Vic, I've just always wanted to do a Pale Ale festival. I'm gonna do it like you do yours. Can you help me out?" And he totally gave me a bunch of pointers and tips. And so yeah, we're inviting our favorite breweries from around the Bay Area.
I got the email.
To submit. Okay, so
We're in.
you're in? Yes.
Yes.
And we were a little late, I know, for those that don't already brew a pale ale, so we were hoping we made it in time.
When
Got
is
one
it?
in the tank right now.
Oh, perfect.
What's the date?
Yeah, the official date, this is the first announcement we're doing of it other than to brewers, is November 5th. It's Saturday, November 5th.
Yeah,
we can save a keg.
Just save as a keg. You don't have to be here, although we'd love to have you here. But we're
I
just
wanna be here.
We want brewers here, of course, but we're also trying to make it easy. Not everybody can commit. But we've got this courtyard behind us that we've never used in 8 years of the Hop Grenade.
Oh, I don't believe
We have this
that.
fountain. We got all this stuff. I've never done an event back there. I've done an event in the whole park out there,
Right.
but I've never done. So it's just we're going to use both our patios and this courtyard. It's only pale ales. In fact, let me ask you this, guys. You two, three of you. It's fine. All three brewers. So I immediately got a question back. So the invite says American pale ales only.
Yeah.
And the question I get back from a great Bay Area brewer says, are you going to be like Vic and be hardcore West Coast only, or are hazy pale ales allowed in as well? And I haven't answered yet. And I have two thoughts on it. My initial thought is, yeah, I don't care. Hazy, whatever. Just it's a pale ale, it's a pale ale. But I thought maybe if a hazy pale ale wins, other brewers might get
Oh,
mad.
you're doing a competition.
No, it's competition too.
A tasting.
Then other
judging.
brewers-
We don't want to submit our beer.
So
No.
we're doing just like we're doing judged and then people's choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe some brewers would be mad if I allowed hazy pale ales in. So just
So, I don't
open
know.
forum.
To me, the hazy's at a disadvantage.
So I think so too. But what if it didn't? What if it won? Are
Well, then it
brewers
was
going
a
to be
good
mad?
hazy.
That's what I think.
Why not have your
Two categories. Because it's the first year,
Yeah.
and I
I-
feel like I don't want to overcomplicate.
Look,
it.
what I think is you need to say it can't be a hazy, because I
Yeah.
think like hazies are so popular right now. I think that it's hard to delineate, what a hazy is, a hazy IPA and a pale ale is, aside from ABV in some ways. So I think that you're playing with fire.
That's what I think too.
And I think that you need to say it can't be a hazy.
But it
At
also-
least the first year, because, and actually it's kind of like, and you said Vic earlier, you're following his program, what he's done in the past. He didn't do hazies, and then
Right.
so maybe the second year you do that.
Right.
But it'd be kind of fun to come here and just have a bunch of pale ales.
Well,
So-
I was going to say,
Yeah.
why not include them all? Because isn't it just a progression of the style?
And that's my other
Styles
thought.
follow innovation, not the other way around.
So see, my gut tells me to go with what Sully just said.
Yeah.
But then my other brain is like, or am I just being a fucking old guy?
But if you're
who's like tired, like who standing on my lawn with
If you're competing though, you're judging it to the style guidelines, then the hazy's going to
Well.
lose every time.
Right. So I have to loosely say what the rules are. The rules are it's an American Pale Ale, and it's a best in show style competition, right? When it gets judged.
Well, Hazy's not going to be a best in show just off of that.
If in reading the BJCP guideline, what it says is American Pale Ales are generally clear. That's it.
Okay.
It's a very vague, which is true.
Fair
we all
enough.
know that American Pale Ales are generally clear, but it does not exclude haze. And so I'm kind of torn.
Yeah, but
and I got to
hazies
answer
are
here this week, too.
Hazies are typically sweeter. I
Yeah.
mean, they don't have as much bitterness, is what I'll say.
Right.
And they're more hop forward with aroma and I just feel and flavor. So I mean, it's like I don't know.
Can't we just throw the BJCP guidelines out the door and just go by what you like as a judge?
Yeah.
And just because judging is so subjective anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
but what if you just opened it up and said like there's a hazy category and a clear category?
Well, that's what Christian said, and I could potentially do that, but I'm not doing that this year. For one, the invite already went out, and it's coming up, and I was just going to leave it alone.
I'd say go for it.
Just let it happen.
You know what? Whatever. Just make it happen.
See, because that's the other. I just want to be like,
Because do you
also
really-
stop being a little bitch if you're going to like argue about
The
whether
thing
or not
about
it's.
it, like, excuse me, you just have to be clear.
Yeah,
It's not-
exactly.
you think a brewery's not going to submit one anyways? Just
No,
like,
I think they'll all 100% submit. I just don't want anyone to be mad and like boycott my second annual because they're like, well, that fucker allowed hazies in, and the hazy won.
that sounds like a them problem, not a you problem.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Well said.
All right. Well, I like all of this input. I really wanted input on this because I have to answer this week. I've been ignoring the question while I figure it out. So
Yeah, bring it. Bring the hazies.
Well, mark your calendars, brewers and listeners alike, right here at the Hop Grenade on Saturday, November 5th. It's going to be our first ever Pale Fest, which I'm excited about. We've been thinking about this here
I
for
totally
a couple
am too.
years.
When I got that email, I was blown away. I was like, this is awesome.
Nice.
Let's
Good.
do it.
I'm really glad. And it'll be on the smaller side. We're not doing a big thing in the park. That would save that for spring brews. This is
Yeah.
just come out here, and if you love pale ales, you love hoppy beer,
It's
just
manageable.
it'll be exactly. And we think it'll be a lot of fun. So
Who's going to judge it?
you and
if I enter
others.
one? I can judge it.
I got to ask Vic how he does that. Does nobody get to judge if you've entered a beer?
No, you shouldn't. Yeah, they should
you
not.
shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it. That's what they do at the GABF and World Beer Cup.
I was afraid of that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just
I mean, you have
poach
to
all
get
of
people like Melissa would be a good one.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Jay.
Tavern owners.
We'll get
Colin.
Jay Brooks.
Ben over at is it
From
Ben
Hannah?
Tigers.
Oh, Kaminsky? I could get Kaminsky. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. There'll be some Brewing Network celebrities, and some Nate Smith, maybe. Right?
Oh, really?
I haven't asked him yet, but he'll probably do.
Oh,
be
dropping
judge.
Nate Smith.
But yeah, it's only going to be a few of us. We got our picnic table, our big community table right
Yeah.
here. We'll do just like Vic does, come in the morning, judge it, and then, of course, there's the People's Choice afterward, and
This is going to be hugely popular.
we're excited, and I'm glad you like it too, because the response I've gotten back from brewers already, they're so excited
Yeah.
because
I love
brewers
pale
love
ale.
lagers and pale ales.
Yeah.
Like you love it, and so yeah, there's already a lager fest, and we wanted to do a pale fest. So
I didn't reply, but I just did now.
thank you, perfect. I had
you.
you marked down anyway.
Okay.
I figured you. I don't really.
They'll show
I don't
up.
really let you skip events, Sully. Usually
Does 21A have a pale? I don't know if I know.
they will.
Well,
know.
we do at the pub, which I'll brew.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Do you want to collab on it?
I would love to do a collab. Hey, can you and I do a collab?
That's what I was thinking.
Well,
Then I can't judge.
You can't judge.
Yeah, but I
don't-
probably shouldn't judge. I'm not a
no.
good judge, so I don't think
I think I
should
could do it with Candy Club.
Well, I'm saying if we're going to collab at my place, I'm definitely going to want to collab at your place.
But we're doing the pumpkin beer, right? Yeah.
There we go.
We're doing everything together right now.
Yeah.
We're holding hands, so we're doing it together.
All right. Well, that's about the time that we have today, and I want to thank you guys so much for being here and being on the show, Christian. So it's good to see you. Madison, it's very nice to meet you and have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Wishing you luck in your brewing
great.
career. I think you're off to a great start. That pale ale is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Is this your first pro brewing gig?
That is my I mean, I worked for, like you said, I worked for More Beer, for a couple years.
Okay.
When pandemic hit, and then
Yeah.
it's my first pro brewing gig. I've been home brewing for like 10 plus years. So
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is this what you want to do as a career now? You're gonna.
I mean, I was doing music stuff before the pandemic, and that all of that ended overnight.
Oh, right. Also,
So-
pays about the same. So
Yeah, so it's so funny when you're talking about people like, oh, I'm gonna go pro brewer. Like, oh, I'm not making as much money. I'm like, I'm making more money. What are you talking about?
oh yeah,
Like,
there you go. Yeah, no music unless you really make it to the next level.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
maybe we'll join the Navy.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to trying more of your beer. That was a really great pale ale.
Thank
so, yeah, you're doing nice work. And Christian, doing a great job over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm always happy to see you with a new brewery and get to try new beer. So I think this is cool. Glad I finally made it out there. Also during the pandemic. So yeah, it's good to see you. Where do you live now? Are you still
I'm in
Berkeley?
Alameda.
Where do
You're
you
in Alameda.
live?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that all right. So that's not a bad commute right there. You're okay.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And what's your address?
Yeah. Exactly.
He's
Get
got
all
a great
that out
place
there.
and a great vinyl selection.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
All right, Sully, thanks for coming out and
Thank
hanging
you.
out with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I got a beer to try with you off air, apparently. You brought me something to taste, so we're going to do that.
We have
did.
another one too.
That'll be nice. We've got more.
We have a
yeah.
lot of beer here.
All right, we'll hang out and have some more beer. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with us. You can find this video over on youtube.com/brewing network. We'll be streaming the Great American Beer Festival Awards ceremony.
Oh, wow.
Again, for like the 16th year or something.
I'll be there.
We've been doing it for a while. You're going to go this year?
Yeah, I'm judging.
All right, perfect.
I'll be judging you.
I'll see. Yes, you should. I get judged a lot there. Yeah. So I'll be doing the Brewers Studio Pavilion at the Great American Beer Festival, as well as the awards. So those of you pro brewers or just beer fans, you can tune in and catch all of the action on YouTube/The Brewing Network. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. The Session is a production of the Brewing Network and brought to you by More Beer. Check them out at morebeer.com. Find more content and live video of this show on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Brewing Network. For sponsorship opportunities and information, please reach out to advertising@thebrewingnetwork.com. To reach our hosts, contact feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com.